Oilers 3 at halftime. I'm Charlie Jones along with Todd Christensen. An interesting note, if you're a Seattle Seahawks fan, is that this is only the third time this year that the Seahawks have led at halftime. They won those two ball games against Cincinnati and against New England.
Well, that bodes well for them. I think the first half went according to plan. I think that's exactly what the Hawks wanted to do, what happened in the first half, and they got to be very happy with the results.
We can look at some numbers just to mention them, and we'll go into them, of course, with more detail. Houston was 60 yards of total offense in the first half. Seattle 172. That's almost 3-1.
Well, one of the interesting things here is that the Houston Oilers only had 3 possessions. Their first possession, 3 downs and punt. Their second possession, a field goal. And their third possession was at the end of the half when they just ran it out. So Seattle's done an excellent job of keeping the run and shoot off the field.
And we have said before, everybody has said this, that the way to stop the run and shoot is to keep them off of the field so they can't run or shoot as you look at the numbers.
Well, 3 times as many yards you can see there, and the turnover wasn't consequential, but the first downs, Seahawks 11-3. The Oilers received to open the second half, so we'll see what their offense can do right off the bat.
Norm Johnson will be kicking off for Seattle. Ford and McNeil are the 2 deep backs on the return. And McNeil fields it at the 3-yard line to the 15, the 20, fumbles, and Seattle goes for it at the 25-yard line. And the Oilers may have come up with it. And Houston retains possession, yes.
Lamar Lathan was able to come up with it.
Lathan, the rookie #1 draft choice from the University of Houston.
Joe McNeil cutting up here. He's been struggling a little bit this year. For a while, he was last in the league in punt returns. The ball comes loose. It's a good thing that a Houston Oiler was paying attention. Diving right on top of it there. There's Lathan. Good job.
So Houston will start the second half from their own 25-yard line, first down.
Oilers 1-4 when trailing at half. Obviously something they'd like to rectify today.
Moon goes deep, and it is incomplete. Haywood Jeffries, the intended receiver. Eugene Robinson was there for Seattle. Second down.
One of the few bad passes you'll see Warren Moon throw. I think he'd anticipated Jeffries coming a little bit more to the middle of the field. His time is fine. Now he looks right down the middle. Kind of gets away from him there. He's just throwing in the middle hoping. But look at that. Nothing but Seahawks there.
Is there a tendency from Houston's standpoint now to try and get too much too soon, simply because he didn't play that much offensively in the first half?
I don't think so. I think Warren's a savvy enough quarterback to know that there's another 30 minutes to go. And he's come from behind before.
Here's the draw, Lorenzo White. He's got 3 yards to the 28. It's going to be 3rd down and 7.
As we mentioned at the top, Lorenzo White was the AFC Player of the Week last week, with over 200 yards total offense. But the Hawks have done a good job of not turning their backs to the quarterback and running with the receivers. There you see 6 carries for 16 yards. They pretty much negated the running game of the Houston Oilers so far. And give credit to that man, Tom Catlin, who's put together a good defensive game plan for this run and shoot.
Wide open over the middle, first down, Drew Hill. Hill now with that reception, a 50-game receiving streak. That's okay. The NFL record, of course, as the Seahawks fans know, 177 by the retired Steve Largent.
Well, it's more than okay. You'll get a chance to see Drew Hill just gets right past Robert Blackman into the soft spot of the zone. Right there, there's nobody there. That's easy pickings for Warren Moon. The deep safety has to come up, or Blackman has to ride him a little bit farther, because Warren Moon will take that all day.
Gain of 20 and a first down at the Houston 48-yard line. Moon, far side, pass is complete for 5, maybe 6. Haywood Jeffries on the receiving end. James Jefferson making the tackle.
Warren Moon gaining a little bit in confidence there. I know you're 34 years of age, and I know you've had big games before, and it shouldn't bother you, but everybody needs a confidence booster. Those last 2 throws, Warren's feeling pretty good about things and realizes, I'm sure at this point, that unlike last Monday night, the running game isn't going to carry the day for them. Warren has to get hot and carry his team today.
He threw 10 passes in the first half. Last Monday night, he threw only 22. He'll air it out here in the second half. Flag is down. Pass is complete. That's Curtis Duncan, who was shut out for the first time this year last Monday night. The flag goes against the Oilers, and it won't count, of course, as a reception for him.
Illegal motion, number 73 offense, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
Isn't it interesting, the depth of the Houston Oilers? David Williams, as we mentioned at the top of the show, replacing Dean Steinkuhler. Dean Steinkuhler was a first-round pick out of Nebraska, and what's David Williams? A first-round pick. A little bit of a flex there on the far left of your screen. Take a look at David Williams move just a little bit right there. That's enough to cause the flag.
2nd and 9, the ball at the Houston 49-yard line.
We should say, however, that David Williams has been playing some outstanding football, taking on the likes of Bruce Smith last Monday night, doing a good job.
Tip, incomplete. Gibbons couldn't pull it down. It'll be 3rd down and 9.
Looked to me like he short-armed that ball a little bit. And I realize that he got that bang in the jaw early in the first half. Take a look here as he tries to pull it down too quickly. Watch his arms come down. Watch him be a little bit short. Oh, not sure. Don't want to get hit. He knew Wyman was coming.
I have an impression, though, that Houston's offense, not playing that much as we mentioned in the first half, that, you know, they still haven't got it all together offensively. They don't look as coordinated as we've seen them in the past.
Well, in a lot of cases, it reminds me of the thing you used to have on the piano, you know, the metronome.
Yes.
Kind of like rhythm.
Yes.
And Houston definitely is out of the rhythm. Give credit to Seattle for that.
Moon hit from behind. Ball is loose. Oilers recover. Jacob Green got the sack. That is the 2nd sack for the Seahawks.
Jacob Green, a member of what they call Die Hard, their front 3. Jacob Green, Joe Nash, and Jeff Bryant, all over 30 years of age. They call themselves Die Hard. Just as we're talking about David Williams, Jacob Green cuts upfield. Actually, this is pretty good time, but Jacob Green is persistent and gets in there and strips the ball. Fortunately for the Oilers, it came right back to Moon.
And Greg Montgomery's 2nd kick of the ball game. Warren takes it at the 18. And he's going to lose a yard on the return.
Nice play by Eugene Seal.
38 yards on the kick. We've got a timeout. Seattle has the ball and the lead, 7-3.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Canon Cameras and the new Canon EOS Rebel. By Diet Coke with 100% NutraSweet. You'll drink it just for the taste of it. By Magnavox. Smart choices for smart people. Magnavox. Smart. Very smart. And by First Brands Corporation. Makers of Prestone Advanced Formula Antifreeze.
This is Charlie Jones and Todd Christensen in the Kingdome. 11-17 time remaining, 3rd quarter. And Seattle has the lead in the ball on their own 17-yard line. So now they'll go to work on the ground and the clock, just as they did in the first half. John L. Williams gets the call. I think everybody knows exactly what they're going to do. There are no surprises.
Well, you know, when we talked to Ronnie Lee yesterday, he felt that the onus was really upon the offensive line. Ronnie Lee, by the way, number 63, the right tackle for the Seattle Seahawks, was the most valuable lineman for the Dolphins the year they set the record for the least sacks allowed, which was 7 in 1988. And he told us yesterday, we're going to have to control the line of scrimmage for us to win. And for a half, that's exactly what they've done.
2nd down and 9. John L. 24-yard line. He gets 6, and it'll be 3rd down and 3.
running that right side behind Millard and Ronnie Lee. They're pushing him back. When you see the defensive lineman backpedal, if they're behind the line of scrimmage, you can see a lot of times the push. You saw there Ezra Johnson chasing him 6-7 yards downfield. That means the offensive linemen are doing their job.
3rd down and 3. First down. Needed 3. He got 8.
Richard Johnson's way too far off here. 3rd and 3. It was just a simple slant route right here. This is easy pickings. Brian Blades has not been as involved in the offense as he would have liked.
What did he tell you yesterday?
Well, he said, I want the ball is what he said.
I know, but every wide receiver has told us he wants the ball.
But Charlie, this is a man last year who had 77 catches for over 1,000 yards and was a Pro Bowl performer. So far this year, we're talking about barely 30 catches. That was his 33rd catch of the season, and this is the 11th week.
Finner, after a long rest at the end of the first half, is back in, and he's going to pick up 2, maybe 3 on the play.
Grant Fiesel taking a little bit of a cheap shot there at the end, it appeared.
You know,
Oilers didn't appreciate it.
Ronnie Lee has that visor. Do you like that visor?
If it's a sunny day, I don't think the lights are that bright in here.
Oh, no. They have indoor visors and outdoor visors and sunny visors and cloudy day visors and a rosy visor so you can see better.
Well, now remember the pants that Ronnie Lee was wearing yesterday?
Yes.
I tell you
the
what,
visor goes with them.
you put a strobe light on that, you could get high. Those are so many colors on there. They had the whole rainbow in those pants.
It looked as if John L. was just wanted to reach out and weave his way through, and nobody was paying any attention to him. Now let's check the Hertz 10-minute ticker. Cincinnati wins. They right now are atop the Central Division. Buffalo with a big win over Philadelphia. Miami, a disappointment in Washington. They thought they could take the Redskins, but they didn't. Chicago, they now move a guaranteed spot in the playoffs, and the rest of the scores. Trouble, rolls away from it. He can run for it, and he's got it.
That's got to be so frustrating if you're the defensive coordinator, Jim Eddy, and in the secondary. They did an outstanding job of covering receivers downfield, but the mobility of Dave Craig is just a little bit too much. There he sees there's nobody open. They can't get to him, and he breaks the contain of William Fuller. And right now, the defensive backs have their back to Craig because they're covering their receivers. He's able to cut in and get in for the first down.
And for Seattle, a major key for Seattle has been the 3rd downs. They've got to keep the 3rd downs.
You can see Jim Eddy right there not very pleased with that. They played about as good a defense as they could, and they still got the first down. And as you mentioned, crucial 3rd down conversion.
And the reason they're so crucial, it keeps the clock moving. They converted on 3rd and 3. We'll have flags here. They converted then on 3rd and 6, and a quick check shows that Seattle has converted 7 of 9 3rd down opportunities in the ballgame.
Well, Charlie, a lot of that has to do, as we see him march off as a result of Andy Heck moving too soon. A lot of that has to do with the fact that they're coming up 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 6. They're not coming up 3rd and 10, and that's why the effectiveness in the running game of the first 2 downs has enabled the Seahawks to take all this time off the clock. Now, nearly 8 minutes of this 3rd quarter.
They've already gone by. It is 1st and 15. Flag is down. The nearest receiver would have been John L. Williams, but he couldn't get out.
I think they're going to call Sean Jones for holding the back coming out of the backfield. A lot of times what will happen is the defensive end will see him rush by, and he'll know that he's the receiver in coverage, and he'll just throw out a hand and trip him.
Holding, number 96 on defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's what Dave Craig was holding up his finger. You saw first down. Wanted to check with Fisher. Yes, it is.
Sean Jones is coming up the field. Take a look at 96 now. He's going to be in a little bit of a pass rush. Now he sees 32 right there. He sees him coming out. Has a hold of his jersey. He knows it. Good call by the official. Good eyes there to see him have a handful of John L. Williams' jersey. By the way, I made a mistake. It was Dean Witter he works for in the offseason, not Merrill Lynch. I don't want his employers to get mad at me.
First down, Seattle at their own 45-yard line. And here is Finner, and Finner has 6.
Houston might want to consider going to their jumbo defense. We had their game about a month ago, and they had San Diego, and they went to what they called their jumbo 4-3, where they took out one of their secondary members and put in another linebacker. You can see now that they're going with Alm instead of Ezra Johnson. Ezra's been getting pushed around a little bit in the middle of the field, but as we mentioned at the outset, he's a defensive end by trade. He's not used to being a defensive tackle.
And Alm plays a little bit better against the run.
Well, that's what they need right now. They can't keep giving up 6 and 7 yards on first downs.
2nd and 4. Flag is down. Finner close to the first down. May have it if the play stands.
William Fuller was a little bit too anxious there, and this is what happens. The momentum and the rhythm now is in the favor of the Seahawks. They know that they're running well, and so what happens is the individual players on the defense feel like they have to do something monumental to change the flow. William Fuller gets off sides here, and there's really not a reason to because it's a running play. But he wants to force the action.
Defense offsides, 5-yard penalty, first down.
You can see the frustration on William Fuller's face. But right here you see in motion is Kane. He's clearly offsides.
In the past, we've been very quick to criticize the officials. Various games we've done, but today I think they've really done a very good job.
Very sharp eye on a lot of different calls. That one on Sean Jones earlier, that's terrific officiating to be able to see that. As a tight end, I know they didn't call it up, but when I got out, the guys pulled me.
Houston 44, first down, little play action fake going deep. Incomplete. Blades is saying I was pushed. No flag. We'll bring it back.
At home, you might say to yourself, come on, you've been running the ball. Why even bother with that? I think that certainly loosens them up, and why not take a chance? Want to get Brian Blades involved, take a chance that they're going to be backpedaling, or rather coming up on their heels, but Dishman did a good job of covering Blades downfield, and Craig had to overthrow him. What this running game also does, Charlie, is that it gives the pass protection that much more of an edge because now the defensive lineman can't just come unencumbered, can't pin their ears back and think about a pass rush. They have to think about stopping the run.
And it's 2nd and 10. 5:35, time remaining, 3rd quarter. Nothing there for Finner.
Houston defense did a good job there. They were coming up on a blitz, but they didn't show it until Craig was into the middle of his count. And because he was in the middle of his count, there's no way he got audible out of it. And so he's on. Take a look at Smith and Grimsley right in the middle of the pile. There's nothing Craig can do, and he just, in effect, gives Fenner the ball. He's cannon fodder for the middle backers there and Sean Jones. Good job by Jim Eddy and the defense. They're timing their blitz to where Craig was unable to audible out of the play.
Paul Scansey and Jeff Chadwick come in, 4 wide receivers. 3rd and 11. It's not there. Good defense by the Oilers. Good coverage downfield. No place to go. Johnson got him at the 42.
That was a good job by the defense of the Oilers. Ezra Johnson is in what we call a spy position. That is that he's not going for an all-out pass rush. You'll see as he comes up the field, there's Ezra Johnson right there on the line of scrimmage waiting for just this because that's how they got their first down last time. Good call by Jim Eddy, forcing the punt.
And Rick Donnelly will be kicking. Gerald McNeil is the return man. McNeil, fair catch at the 10. 4 minutes and 13 seconds. Time remaining, 3rd quarter. Seattle leads 7-3.
One of the stories today has been Warren Moon. In fact, Warren Moon has been in the story throughout the year here in the National Football League. Get a chance to see the comparisons between he and Dan Marino after 11 games. Warren Moon has a chance today to set a record with his 5th straight 300-yard game. But his statistics today, Seattle's done a good job, only 80 yards throwing.
First down, Houston. And this pass is complete to Tony Jones. And he's out to the 20-yard line. He'll have 9. It'll be 2nd down and 1. That last drive by the Seahawks, they used up 7 minutes and 4 seconds off of the game clock.
That's what they want to do. At the rate they're going, there's absolutely no way Warren Moon is going to get his 300 yards. Interesting, and a crucial first down play, he goes to a guy who hasn't been playing much, Tony Jones, 139-pounder. From the University of Texas, who Jack Pardee told us was their fastest man, which is saying a lot because they've got some fast people.
Alan Pinkett is now the running back. And Pinkett is the ball carrier. There's nothing there. It'll be 3rd and 1.
David Wyman has been a real sore spot for the Houston Oilers today. 2nd and 1. You think this is easy pickings? Take a look at Wyman right in the middle. Stuffs the guard, pushes him back, gets help from Tony Woods. They don't get the first down.
Wyman's 4th game back from IR. He had a tendon tear in his left knee.
They've had some problems keeping their linebackers healthy up here in Seattle. Darren Como, also a starter earlier in the year, is on IR as well.
Moon with a quarterback sneak. Ball is up and loose. Seattle has the ball.
Just a simple quarterback sneak. It appeared that he had about 8 inches to go, and all he needed was to lean forward. Once again, take a look right here. They slant down and do a good job. Coming in there, the ball bounces loose and right into the hands of Tony Woods.
Was it Tony Woods or Cortez Kennedy?
Well, Kennedy's the one that makes the play. Look at Kennedy slanting down right here. Now watch whose head is it right there. Kennedy, who pops the ball loose, goes right into the arms of Woods.
Well, actually, both they're in a wrestling match with each other.
Now, Woods took the bow, so we assume he's the one that came up with it.
On the reverse will end up losing a couple of yards. Strange call as we go to New York City. Bob Costas and an update.
All right, Charlie, when he returned from baseball, Bo Jackson scored 2 touchdowns in his first game back. That was several weeks ago at San Diego. He hadn't scored since. Now he breaks the ice with this tumbling 11-yard run in Denver. And so the Raiders have reclaimed the lead at 14-10 over the Broncos in the 3rd. Charlie?
And Bob, here with the turnover, Seattle an opportunity to stretch their lead. Time remaining in the 3rd quarter. 2nd down and 12. Craig into the end zone. There's nobody there. It'll be 3rd down and 12. We'll check the ticker. This is the Hertz 10-minute ticker. Raiders leading Denver, San Diego in front of the Jets. Colts and New Orleans out in front.
It's a homecoming for Steve Walsh for the New Orleans Saints, coming back to the team that originally traded him, the Dallas Cowboys. This is a big stand by the Houston Oilers defense. Boy, they have to feel good about themselves. Bubba McDowell wanted the pick, but he's got to feel good about the fact that on the 20-yard line after a turnover. Great job in the secondary. Craig's got time. He steps up. He tries to aim this ball right here in the middle. Good job by Johnny Meads of getting a piece of it. Look at Dishman all over him. Great coverage by Chris Dishman. Big stand for the Oilers defense.
And it's 4th down and 12. from the 29, a 39-yard field goal attempt by Norm Johnson. He has hit 7 of his last 9. Off to a shaky start this year, but he's been hot recently. And it is good. Seattle leads it 10-3. .137 left in the third. Norm Johnson, who just converted from 39 yards out, is kicking off. And McNeil at the 5. Around the corner. Nothing there, and he goes out of bounds around the 22-yard line. Van McElroy was there. 1:27. Time remaining third. We'll be back in a moment.
Anathema for the Houston Oilers this year has been the turnover ratio, and once again a turnover creates points. 77 points they've given up on turnovers this year, and if you remember the graphic earlier, they are second worst in the AFC in giving up in their giveaways. One thing Jack Party is not too terribly pleased with, but as he said, a lot of times it's physical mistakes, and I don't know how to coach that.
Houston 3 possessions in the first half. This is their third possession of the second half. Minute 27 to go. Third quarter. Incomplete. Haywood Jeffries makes the drop. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Seahawks defense has done an outstanding job, particularly in the secondary. Take a look at this throughout the entire season. With all the run and shoots and red guns and 4 wide receivers, the Seattle Seahawks defense has yet to give up a 300-yard game. Their worst was they gave up, I believe, it was 297 against Elway. So give them a lot of credit. The Hawks are doing it today on the defensive end.
2nd and 10. Is complete near the first down marker. David Wyman was there for the defense. Jeffries on the receiving end.
I don't know if this is going to be a crucial play now or not, but take a look at Jeffries when he makes the catch. When he makes the catch, he has the first down. Now watch, he'll take a lateral step to come back and avoid Wyman, and when he takes that lateral step, Wyman is able to bring him down. It appears just short of the first down. But if you recall, the fumble that Warren Moon had last time was on a 3rd and 1 play.
And that fumble, by the way, his 15th of the year. Now, one of the reasons, of course, he's throwing so many more passes this year, averaging 39 a game versus 29 a game a year ago. The record in a season is 18, held by
Dave Craig on this field today, and he said it last year. Crowd now very much getting into the game. You know, the Houston Oilers are one of the few teams in the league that in 3rd and short doesn't necessarily mean they're going to run the ball. And certainly by the way they've run it today, they haven't been too terribly effective. Warren Moon wanting to make sure that it is 3rd down. He's looking over there. Uh-oh, Colorado, Missouri all over again. What down is it? Ouch. 15 fumbles, 11 interceptions.
first down. Curtis Duncan on the receiving end. Now for an update, let's go to New York City and Bob Costas. Bob?
Charlie, Indianapolis lengthens its lead at Phoenix. Jeff George's second touchdown pass of the day. A little slant pattern, and Jesse Hester covers 6 yards. Indianapolis trying to win their 4th in a row and even their record at 6-6, leading 17-6 in the third. Back to the Kingdom.
Thank you, Bob. When we had an Indianapolis game, we were talking to their coaching staff, and they were telling us that Jeff George has the magic. When you see him, you know this is a franchise. And we said, well, we're not that sure, but I tell you, he's beginning to prove it, isn't he? Far side pass is complete to Gibbons, and he is wrapped up immediately at the 45-yard line. And with that play, the third quarter comes to a close. The score, Seattle 10, Houston 3. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
How deep does friendship run? Take a look at number 22, Nesby Glasgow, a former teammate of Warren Moon's at the University of Washington. Nobody touches him on the blitz. He's got a blind side. Is he going to ease up on his buddy? Ouch, I guess not. Warren goes, who was that masked man? He turns around. Oh, homie, what it is? All right. It's okay. One of the lighter moments there. Nesby Glasgow, Warren Moon, elder statesman as far as the National Football League players are concerned, but buddies.
Nesby also said yesterday, he said the thing about Warren, he never gets down on himself. That he can have a lousy first 3 quarters, but watch out in the fourth. Alan Pinkett. And Pinkett should pick up the first down. We'll check out the ticker. This is the Xerox 10-minute ticker. Cincinnati wins. Buffalo wins. Washington over Miami. Those are all the early games. Chicago now a cinch for the playoff. Kansas City rolls over New England. Rams win. They may be a factor. Tampa Bay wins. Raiders lead. San Diego leads. Colts lead. Hey, that's getting close in the Dallas-New Orleans game. Moon on target right at the first down marker. Now this will be the official spot, and they're going to spot it at the 40. And I think it'll be a first down.
You know, that says a lot. The Nesby Glasgow quote that you had earlier says a lot about Warren Moon and his confidence. We keep showing these graphics that he's way behind in his yardage. Does he stop throwing? Does he lack confidence? Earlier in the drive, you recall, with 3rd and 6 inches, he had such confidence in his arm that he threw and gets the first down. Warren Moon is very sure of himself.
The other thing that Nesby said about him, he said that he's such a nice person, he's such a class guy, that all of his teammates want to win for Warren. He is that kind of a leader.
Anybody that would take $200,000 of their own money to refurbish that church, that's a class act as far as I'm concerned. Warren Moon's what's right with the NFL.
He goes deep, almost intercepted. Eugene Robinson almost had it. Drew Hill, the intended receiver. It'll be second down.
And Eugene Robinson and James Jefferson collided here. Warren Moon, very much in love with his arm, thinks he can throw it through the eye of the needle. But Eugene Robinson makes a nice break, and they collide right there a little bit. Trying to get it right into the seam. Jefferson and Robinson collide. Good play by Robinson, reading Moon's eyes and able to come over and make it. Robinson eclipses Moon. Man, clever fans up here. I like that.
Warren, the first down is there for the taking, and he's got it. And he doesn't slide. He dives to the 25.
I was just going to say that. He doesn't slide. Now, again, that's one of those things. When you see your quarterback not sliding, if you're a lineman or if you're a back, if you're a receiver, you really appreciate that. You know that he wants it as bad as you do. Warren Moon here shows that at 34 years of age, the legs aren't quite stale. He shows some good feet right here. Now watch him cut back across Joe Nash there instead of running the outside. Nice move there. Not too bad. Yeah, that's why they can still run that option route. And no, he doesn't slide. He doesn't avoid the contact. I like that.
When we talked to him yesterday, asked him about the bumps and bruises because he gets hit so many times. He said it took me a little while to get used to it, but now it doesn't bother me. Gain of 15, first down at the 25. Seattle leading in the ball game. On target, should be a first down inside the 15. It will. It'll go to the 14. Haywood Jeffries with the reception.
It's amazing the number of balls that he throws that they're able to either just jump up and catch right in the chest. You know, yesterday we were talking to Chuck Knox. Knox sounded like his absolute biggest fan, that the guy could throw off his back foot, off his wrong foot, running, throwing across his chest, and he puts the ball right there for the receivers.
Shoulders with the line of scrimmage, shoulders perpendicular to the line. He says it doesn't make any difference. He said, we have so many, everything has to be just right. He said, not with Warren. He said, he's just a great athlete.
Well, the good point of this drive is their ability to get down the field. Now the downside is, once again, they're inside the 20, Charlie.
Where they've had problems this year. Inside of the 10, inside of the 5, 2-yard line, Drew Hill.
Ouch, a ball boy really took a tumble there at the end. I hope he's okay. Nice catch by Drew Hill. We really haven't heard from him since earlier.
He picks up 12 to the 2.
Take a look at the inside receiver here on an out. They're just giving him way too much room there. Man coverage. Jefferson doesn't get over quick enough, or Jenkins rather, and Hill has a lot of room. Take a look at the ball boy at the end. Yow!
He got clipped.
That's kind of a Fosbury flop there. Hill, nice catch here. Right here at the end. The hazards of work in the NFL.
But I hope one of his friends videotaping the game for him. He'll love it. He said,
That's
did you
right.
get that? Did you get
see
that?
Did you see me on TV?
First down, goal to go. Givens, touchdown. His 7th of the year, first of the game. Houston within 1 extra point to go.
Well, you see Drew Hill go in motion, and that creates some problems in the secondary. He just steps right outside. He's wide open there. 2 men together in the secondary, not able to come up. Givens shows his quickness. Another advantage to being short. Take a look. Both guys cut to the inside. It's too late. Too late. Robert Blackman makes the 1 step to the inside. It's too late. There's no way he's going to catch Givens with the sweet move.
And the extra point is good. And we are tied at 10 with 11:14 left to go here in the Kingdom.
Ernest Givens finally able to get it into the end zone for the Houston Oilers. Warren Moon, his first touchdown pass of the day. Givens just a little bit too quick for Robert Blackman, and maybe a little bit too quick for MC Hammer. Check this out. Check out this sweet move. Yowza. Yes, indeed. Givens a member.
Did you notice his eyes at the end? He was checking out the official.
That's right, he was.
Did I go too far?
Did I get away with that?
Did I get away with it?
Givens a member of that Fab Four receiving group.
And here is Chris Warren on the return. He took it a yard deep in the end zone. He's to the 20, the 30. A flag down back at the 13. Another covering flag at the 13. And normally you know what that means.
Actually, Chris Warren made a bad decision.
Yes,
that was a terrific kick.
He made a bad decision and
Right
a good
corner.
return.
Yeah, that's right. That's where the coach goes, no, no, no. Oh, good run.
Good run. Way to go. Way to go. But don't do it again.
It's all for naught anyway.
You know, this is something that bothers me, this particular penalty, because you're coached and the coach and the coach.
99, receiving team holding, 10-yard penalty, first down.
That's on Donald Miller. And it happens. You have a holding or you have a block in the back usually more than anything else. Why does that happen on returns?
Well, I think a lot of times it's quite frankly the guys in the special teams. You can see Donald Miller, the rookie backer from Idaho State, is in for a chewing on the Monday films from Rusty Tillman, the special teams coach.
Finish your thought.
What you do is in a lot of cases, you just think you can get away with it. Here he cuts across. Now we're going to get at the bottom of the screen. Watch number 99 right there. Tackle Montgomery from the back. He tackles number 94, and the official saw it. There are a lot of cases, Charlie, where they get away with it. Just like offensive linemen and holding. He figured he could get away with it. He didn't. It turns out to be a big play for the Oilers.
So Seattle starts from inside their own 8. And we saw for the first time in the ballgame on that Houston drive, they were in sync. The timing was there. The metronome was working for them finally, that you alluded to earlier.
Well, there's no doubt that Warren Moon is finally getting back in his rhythm. Now it's up to the defense to stop the Seahawks and get the ball back for him now that he's got it going.
Raiders by 1, San Diego leading. Colts in front, Dallas by 1. And here we are tied at 10 with 10:25 and counting time remaining in the game. And Seattle continues to stay on the ground. That was 2nd and 8. Now the crowd beginning to boo just a little bit. And this is what Seattle's been doing. This is their game plan. Stay on the ground and use up the clock.
Well, they don't want to make a mistake at this end of the field.
And they do.
I'll be interested to see if Houston takes this penalty. You can see Jim Eddy is refusing. I think that's a good decision.
Offense, number 87, penalty decline, brings up third down.
The reason is because even if they accepted the penalty, it'd only be half the distance, which would only be 5 yards. Now, Jim Eddy is in effect saying to his nickel group right here, we can trust you guys to hold them down here. It's a big third down play, 3rd and 6. And if they can hold them, they're going to get terrific field position on the punt. But Craig has been very effective so far today on his 3rd down conversions.
He comes up and he'll step back in the shotgun. This is a move that he makes. He can jump up, take the ball on a quick snap if he wants to, but he sits back in the shotgun. Again, you want to pick up the first down, but you do not want to make a mistake here. And it is caught at the 19-yard line.
Oh, my.
Chadwick had it, 4 wide receivers, first down.
Great throw by Craig. From my vantage point, it looked like he didn't get his feet down. But if he did, this is terrific. Nice throw here by Craig with Sean Jones in his face. Take a look at Chadwick. Does he have the feet down?
A knee and a foot.
Oh, no.
It's close.
No, left foot's up.
Left foot's up.
Craig's very smart here, pulling him up. Oh, almost got away with it. That's a veteran quarterback for you.
He was getting him up. He didn't want it reviewed. And this is, come on, we got to play football. Let's keep going.
Now, the rule here, as everybody's well aware of, is 2 feet have to be in bounds. Now, take a look at as the ball slows down. Is the left foot up or not? It appears that the right foot is up right here. The left foot is down. Does that count as the foot being down, or is it in the air? That's what the officials in the booth are trying to decide right now, and they only have 2 minutes to make that decision.
And it has to be conclusive to overrule it.
After further review, stands as ruled on the field. Completion, first down.
Take a look at the back foot. The back foot is the issue. You know the right foot is down. He drags the right, now the left. Well, that's awfully close.
May have gotten away with it. And here is Benner. He fumbles, dives forward, and recovers his own fumble at the 20. So things are getting a little scary as far as the Seahawks are concerned. And the Oilers right now are in control of a tie ball game.
Well, they got to be frustrated, though, by that last play.
Does that make sense? Can you be in control of a tie ball game?
It doesn't matter. I'm not paying attention.
I know you're not.
What I was going to say is that
what was your name?
John Grimsley made a good job of penetrating and getting in the backfield. That's what they need to do here. They can't afford to let the Seahawks come up 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4.
Craig sidearms this drop by John L. Williams.
Now that's one to hold for the highlight films. That's something you won't see very often. Do you know on that last play, Charlie, it was interesting. I was noticing on 3rd down, they actually double-teamed John Williams coming out of the backfield with a lineman and a backer. Al Smith has him man for man, which is a mismatch, wide open there, and John L. just can't hang on to it. You can see that Craig isn't too pleased. That's his favorite receiver. Oh, nuts.
Oh,
3rd and long.
3rd and 9 at the 20. 9:21 remaining. 4 wide receivers.
Take a look at Johnny Meade's number 91 for Houston, how he covers John L. Williams if they double team him again.
Scansy, and he ran out of room, and he'll come up a couple of yards shy of the first down. Terry Kennard took him right to the sideline.
Terry Kennard did an outstanding job there of knocking him out of bounds. It may not look like terrific coverage because they're coming with a blitz off the corner. There he is. He has him in and out. That's blitz control route, which is the reason why he didn't get to the marker like he should have. Now he cuts upfield, knows he's short, tries to make a move, but Kennard uses the sideline as another player and knocks him out of bounds short of the first. Good play there by the former New York Giant.
So Rick Donnelly will be kicking to the cube. Gerald McNeil. 9 minutes left to go in the ballgame. McNeil at the 38. He may get a yard on the return, but that's going to be 8:47 left. Houston 10, Seattle 10. 34 yards on the punt, and we'll be back in just a moment.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Coors Light, the one that won't slow you down. The Silver Bullet is the right beer now. By Levi's 505, 506, and 540 jeans. By Xerox, the document company. And by State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
This is Houston's 4th possession of the second half. They had only 3 possessions in the first half. 3 and out. They ran out the clock at the end, had a long drive in between. So the offense has seen more action here in the second period. Here's Allen by the second half. Alan Pinkett is the ball carrier, and he will pick up about 5. Warren Moon, of course, everything offensively centers around Warren, and he has a bonus clause in his contract if he finishes in the top 3 quarterbacks statistically in the National Football League. It's a big bonus, and we were talking to him about it.
Well, you know, it's interesting that if he is in the top 3, he accrues a $1.2 million bonus in being one of the top 3. And I asked him the question. I said, hey, Warren, at the end of the season, if you had to drive 80 yards and you were number 3, would you not throw any incompletions to guarantee your $1.2 million? And he said this, and I honestly believe him. He says, I never thought of that. I bet you and I had thought of it if you're quarterback.
I'm still thinking about it. Moon, incomplete. The other thing he said is, you know, I had that same clause in my contract last year, and I fell out of the top 3 with 2 games to go, and nobody even mentioned it, nor did he mention it.
Well, it just goes to show the kind of guy he is, because, you know,
he's
I can guarantee you, if you'd have come and asked me that question, I said, hey, partner, I thought about it in preseason.
You know, not only do you know yours, you know everybody else's bonus clause. Raiders now by 7 over Denver. San Diego continues to lead the Jets. Colts, and then Dallas by 1. Here we are tied at 10. 3rd down and 5. Moon has time, incomplete. Jeffries, and again he was sliding down, and Moon hits him on the number.
It hasn't been Haywood Jeffries' day today, and Warren's got to be very frustrated by that.
Flag? Yes, flag downfield, 39-yard line, other side of the field.
Ernest Givens is complaining that he got pushed. That's going to take the horns off of Jeffrey for potential for being a GOAT.
Yes. And he was pushed.
Illegal chuck, number 29, defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Illegal chuck on Dwayne Harper. You can make that chuck within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, but not past it.
That is the one single rule that has opened up the passing lanes for teams throughout the National Football League. Take a look right here. You'll see Givens at the top of the screen. He's past 5 yards right there. Now as he bumps him to the outside, you can't do that. He's already past 5 yards. Once again, good eye by the official to see that.
Good call, a good ball game. Houston at their own 49, first down. A sliding reception and another first down. Now for an update, let's go to New York City and Bob Costas. Bob?
All right, Charlie, get a load of this one. After a 6-week touchdown drought, Bo Jackson has 2 today, the first from 11. This time he goes off right tackle, cuts it back to the middle, bowls over half the Denver team, sprints to the goal line. It covers 62 yards. Importantly, though, the point after was blocked, so the differential is still 7. 20-13, Raiders over the Broncos.
Thank you. Speaking of bonuses, does Bo Jackson have a bonus clause?
Like he needs one. What are you kidding?
I just, you know those things.
It was a good thing I made that suggestion this week about, you know, moving his hips when he's running. You know, I think it really helped him out. Take a look at the reception here. Tony Jones, you can throw a load at Tony Jones because we're talking about 5'7.5", 139 pounds. As his hands underneath the ball. Yes, that's a catch.
Oh, it's borderline, but I'd go with you as a catch.
I'll tell you what, right there, that's the advantage to having the so-called Smurfs. I'll bet you if that's a guy 6'2", he can't get down there.
Play stance is called on the field, completion, first down.
You go with that. I think that whole crew, including the replay official who is Royal Cathcart, they're having a good ball game. They're on top of everything. I love that with an official. They're on top of it. It's moving. They keep it going. They make the decisions, and they have not gotten in the way of the game itself.
That's right. I'm glad I saw him at the elevator and told him to hurry it up.
First down. Seattle 38-yard line, just over 7 minutes to go. This one is complete to Jeffries. Now the run and shoot is in full operation to the 22-yard line.
Now take a look at Jeffries. He's excited. He's shouting at people over there saying it ain't going to happen again. He was frustrated over that last drop. He's trying to hype himself up. The zone is flooded here to the left. They're in a zone coverage. Two people go downfield. Take a look right between the defenders. Nice throw. Look at that. Before he even turns around. Warren Moon seeing the defense. Jeffrey's doing a good job. Two hands on the ball, I notice. A little bit paranoid over the fact that he's dropped a few today.
First down, Pickett to the 19. Has 3. It'll be second down and 7.
It's a bad time to argue there. Jay Pennison needs to keep his composure now that they're inside the 20. As if we haven't harped on that enough, the problems that the Oilers have had inside the 20.
Now, the worm has turned. The Oilers, of course, want to score. They're not in a big hurry to score. They want to take some time off of the clock so that Seattle will have as little time left as possible.
That's right, and you know what? Warren can do that with his short passes. A lot of people felt that that was the problem with the run and shoot, is they would not be able to maintain ball control. But in the games this year, they have held the ball 4 minutes longer per game than their opponent.
Second and 7 at the 19. Goes back other side. Pass is complete, 13-yard line. Drew Hill makes the catch. James Jefferson brings him down. Gain of 6.
One play we have not seen so far, and I think would be a terrific play right now, would be the option here at 3rd and 1. Warren Moon runs the option very well, and he's got back there now Alan Pinkett, who scored 3 touchdowns, I remember, back 2 years ago when I was still playing against the Raiders on that very option play.
When he was looking, you know, he said me, so I'm wondering if this is what the call is.
Warren Moon with that last throw just broke his own team record by 2 yards. 3,633 yards for Warren Moon, a new Oiler record.
3rd down and 1. Pinkett, first down. 8-yard line. It'll be first down and goal to go.
What a terrific cut by Alan Pinkett. Believe me, ladies and gentlemen, you can only do this if you have a low center of gravity. Take a look. The play is designed to go between right and left guard. Boink! Right there, he makes the cut to the outside and goes to the 8 hole. It's supposed to go right in the middle. Watch that left foot. Watch the plant. Boink! Right there.
What's the 8 hole?
Oh, that's right. I forgot. The 8 hole, if you number it, 2 hole is between the center and guard, 4 between the guard and tackle, 6 between the tackle and tight end, and 8 is to the outside. And that's what Pinkett picked.
So odd left, even right. It wasn't there this time for Pinkett.
But Warren Moon is doing exactly what you suggested, Charlie. He's taking some time off the clock. They're not in a big hurry to get back into the huddle.
3:50 and counting.
He's looking over there. Look at him wandering over and taking a look. Watch Wyman in the middle. Right at the last minute, he makes the adjustment over the guard. Bruce Matthews comes off on Wyman, but Wyman does a good job of shucking him and going in and making the tackle. David Wyman has played some outstanding football today for the Seattle Seahawks.
Second and goal. It is intercepted. Jefferson with the interception. Came over the top.
The ball bounces up out of Alan Pinkett's hands. It's just a little bit of a flat route, and he can't seem to hold on to it. Once it comes up in the air, Jefferson picks it off. Here's Warren Moon fading back. You can see Pinkett is going to go right in the flat. He's open. Right in his hands. He bobbles it up in the air. Jefferson clearly he has possession right there as he slides out of bounds. That's a tough break for the Houston Oilers. Moon puts it right there. It's right there. Hit him in the hands. Jefferson opportunistic. That's the 13th time. Take a look at Warren Moon here. He can't believe it. Oh, no. How frustrating. Warren Moon has had at least 5-6 drops today.
We have an injured player down. And we understand that it is Tony Woods who is the injured player. 3:14 left. We'll take a timeout. We are tied at 10. We'll be back in a moment. The injured player was not Tony Woods. It is Rufus Porter, and it looks as if when they helped him up a groin injury, and he is in great pain. There's no question about that. And this is what happened. This is on videotape a moment ago. Oh, see. Oh, man,
that hurts.
Yes. And I asked him yesterday, I said, are you ready for tomorrow? He said, I'm going to buzz around. I'm going to buzz around. The coaches say his motor is always running. He's hyper, and he is everywhere. And this is a devastating injury.
I can tell you from experience, a groin is no fun. It hurts when you breathe, when you cough. That's a tough injury. For the Houston Oilers now, that is the 13th time this season that they've gotten inside the 20 and come away empty.
And with the interception, Seattle has the ball at their own 6-yard line. 3:14 time remaining.
There it is right there. 13 times inside the 20. You see 20 touchdowns and 9 field goals. 13 times. Unlucky 13.
Seattle from their own 6. They come out throwing from the end zone. John Al across the 10 to the 11-yard line. They'll pick up 5. Johnny Meads with the tackle. It is now official that now there's another Seahawks player who is down.
Grant
That's
Fiesel.
Grant Fiesel, the center.
Rufus Porter has a sprained groin, is the early report.
And of course, they continue to work on Rufus Porter. Little program note, be sure to join NBC Sports next Sunday for more football action. We'll start it all at 12:30 Eastern Time with NFL Live. Some of you to see Warren Moon again, this time hosting Cleveland. Some to see Seattle against Green Bay, and most of you to see the second half, and that will be Denver at Kansas City starting at 4. Those, of course, all Eastern Time.
Take a look at number 54 right in the middle of your screen, the center. He's going to get hit in the knee coming off to the side. He comes in there on Ezra Johnson. Now from the back. Oh. You know what that is? That's a back pedal, and your cleat gets caught in the AstroTurf. That's all that was. Nobody landed on it.
How is this turf here? All the turfs are different. Some are soft, some are harder. How's the one here?
Well, when I was playing here, I didn't mind the turf. I'll be honest, I'm not an AstroTurf fan at all. But again, as far as AstroTurf goes, this field is actually pretty good. You couldn't convince Grant Fiesel of that right now, however.
And who were we talking to yesterday with Houston about the difference in the AstroTurf? Oh, it was Lorenzo White, and he said, you know, comparing this dome to Houston's, is that here he felt that the crowd was a little closer and that this was a lot louder.
Well, that certainly has benefited the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, that's why we see all those number 12s out there. 12th man, right?
12th man.
They get loud here. That's no secret.
2nd and 5. 2:57 and counting. Time remaining first half. Ball game tied at 10.
Watch the snap here. Inevitably, when you go to the backup center, the first snap can be a problem.
Doppelmayr now the center. James is all right. Little play action, not much. Craig rolls out, throws. It is complete to Tommy Kane. And he has the first down at the 26, maybe the 27. Craig says, come on, we can get another playoff with a 2-minute warning. And Rufus Porter is on a stretcher on the far side. They're taking him in right now to x-ray him. There he goes.
Those are not boos you hear. Those are roof.
Nice young man. He's a nice young man.
And a fan favorite, obviously.
Yep. Derek Finner. 28-yard line. He gets a couple. Johnny Meads with a tackle, and a 2-minute warning will now be given to both benches, and we'll take a timeout. It is Houston 10 and Seattle 10. We'll be back in a moment. This is Charlie Jones, Todd Christian. That's Grant Fiesel, the center, who is injured a moment ago, and they're working on him. Joe Doppelmayr has replaced him, the number 2 draft choice a year ago, number 56. And it is 2nd and 8. Seattle at their own 28-yard line in a ball game that is tied 10-10. 2 minutes to go. Craig knocked away. Richard Johnson made the defensive play. He wanted a flag for offensive interference.
And Tommy Kane is arguing right there, and you can see Chuck Knox feels like he pulled him in. What happened there is Richard Johnson guessed he was running a comeback, and if you guess on that route, you're right. Chuck Knox can't believe it.
No, you know what? Now, Chuck, the first official was Ben Wright, the former referee, and Ben was saying, he left Ben. He said, oh, that's Ben. I'm not going to win anything there. He was looking for another official.
He wanted that one. That's about as animated as I've seen Chuck.
You know what Ben would say? He was giving him the business. He was giving him the business.
That's right.
3rd and 8. It is caught. First down. Jeff Chadwick. Patrick Allen with a tackle.
Oilers came with a safety blitz. Steve Brown coming off the corner, but Craig read it right off the bat and was able to get the ball to Chadwick. Oilers didn't disguise it very well.
First down at the 40. Same play. Incomplete.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
2nd and 10.
He threw it behind Chadwick there. Good coverage by Allen. Slant in route, exact same play. There he is. Allen reacts a little bit behind him right there. Still catchable ball.
Why not run it again? 3 in a row.
Jeff Chadwick, of course, from the Detroit Lions, where he forged a pretty good career there before being a Plan B acquisition of the Seahawks. Now, this is interesting. Last week I watched them, and they called that intentional grounding. That was clearly intentional grounding. There's no doubt about it that Craig was just throwing that ball away. But Howard Rose felt that he wasn't. Howard Rose decided not to play Kreskin and try to read his mind. Take a look at this. Watch as he's not even looking downfield when he throws this ball. Steve Brown again on the corner blitz. Watch him just get rid of it. You know he's throwing that ball away, no doubt about it. Fortunately for him, there was a Seahawk in the area.
Strained knee. He will not be in on a scrimmage play. He can come back in to snap on a field goal or extra point attempt. Flag is down, and Craig is down.
Caught Andy Hick holding Sean Jones. They'll decline that penalty, and if they're smart, they're going to have to use a timeout here.
'63 offense, a jam through the face, penalty decline, 4th down.
Why do you mention the timeout?
I'm sorry, I was wrong. In the last 2 minutes, the clock doesn't run after a penalty.
Yep.
So they actually got a break there, because with the sack right this minute, the clock would have started. But thanks to the refused penalty, it doesn't. This is a big punt for Donnelly. He needs to get off a good kick so he can pin the Oilers deep. This is where the special teams are crucial.
And McNeil, you saw the return man. Oh, good kick.
He sure did.
Backpedaling, takes it at the 13. Good coverage downfield. A flag back at the 46-yard line.
That would usually indicate holding by the receiving team. What happens is you want to keep the sprinters from getting down too quick, and inevitably you'll get a piece of the jersey or you'll get a little of the face mask. The cornerbacks on the side were probably holding either Jenkins or Harper.
Rick Donnelly averaging 41.4 yards a kick coming into the ball game. He nailed that one for 50. An 8-yard return by McNeil, and now the penalty.
I would think that the Seahawks would want to decline this, because that ended up being about a 43-yard net, and that's about as good as you can get. I don't think the Seahawks want to take this penalty. They want them to have it on the 20-yard line.
The discussion is, where was the ball when the flag was dropped?
Well, either way, it's not going to be enough for a first down for the Seahawks. But one other thing that they might consider in re-kicking is they could take another 10 to 12 or 15 seconds on the clock if they kicked again. But right now, if they're playing the field position game, they'd probably be wise to refuse it.
Got illegal hands on the receiving team. After the ball was received, 10-yard penalty, first down.
See, that was after the ball was received. That's what they were discussing. Where was it? Where was the ball when the penalty flag was dropped? Because here it goes. We'll go back to the 10-yard line. Otherwise, they would assess it from the previous line of scrimmage. If the flag had been dropped before, there'd been the change of possession. That's what the discussion was about.
Now, Warren Moon and his offensive coordinator are talking over what they're going to do here. I'd be very, very surprised if Warren Moon throws here.
Really?
Yes. 1:09 left.
90 yards?
90 yards to go. If they were to have a turnover right here, the game is over. I think right here they might be thinking to themselves, let's take our chances with overtime. Especially the way their defense has been playing in the second half.
The ball will be 93 yards. The officials spot the ball at the 7.
That was a 13-yard penalty. How did that work?
I don't understand that. I thought you split the distance to the goal. It was at the 20. Well, anyway.
Well, there's a side judge coming over to explain it to Pardee, but it doesn't make any sense to me either.
The spot of the foul was at the other end of the field. Incomplete. I agree with you. I think they ought to. Well, now, Seattle, but here's the situation. Seattle's got their 3 timeouts remaining. They can start using them.
Yeah, but you got to force them to use the timeouts is what you got to do. Here, an incomplete pass is playing into Seattle's hands. They're putting too much pressure on Greg Montgomery here. I'm thinking down the line. Of course, they want to get the first downs.
And, of course, the crowd here in the Kingdom, so knowledgeable, they yell at the right time for Seattle. The Oilers have hand signals for audible. Pinkett.
Seattle needs to use their timeout. Their coaches are screaming for it, but they haven't called it.
Now they call it.
Now see,
What they lose, 5-6 seconds?
they have to know ahead of time when they're on the sidelines going out to their. You got to know what the Oilers are doing. There's no way he should have had to wait for the coach to get that timeout. Cost him 5 seconds.
Back to your thought, how do you pre-design the timeout?
Well, on the 7-yard line, you know that with the incomplete pass, of course, the clock stops, so you don't need to use your timeout. But if you're the defenders and you know that they're going to have a running play, you have 3 timeouts. He should have had his defensive captain, in this case, Nesby Glasgow, know that once that ball hits down to use your timeout and save the time.
3rd and 3. Drew Hill, first down, out of bounds. 25-yard line, 51 seconds remaining. Now things change in this game of chess.
Exactly right. The confidence of Warren Moon there. I would have thought that maybe in this situation he might have gone with the quarterback draw. But once again, Robert Blackman is not only is a rookie, but he's a strong safety. You can't ask him to cover Drew Hill all over the field man for man. Drew Hill, a sage veteran of some 11 seasons in the National Football League versus a rookie. If I was Warren Moon, I'd take that every time.
Two deep safeties. Open over the middle. Pass is complete. This is Haywood Jeffries.
There's the difference right there. A savvy quarterback, Warren Moon, right next to the official, calls timeout the minute Jeffries is down.
We'll be back in just a moment. A moment ago, it looked as if Houston didn't have any time at all. Now, 44 seconds becomes a lot of time because of the difference in the field position. Now at their own 40.
And Seattle has to be a little bit careful here. Here they're in a zone, and look at this. Look at the middle of the field. Jeffries just finds the soft spot right there. Settles down. Warren calls timeout. They need to go about, I'd say, at least 25 yards.
They got to get to
field goal range.
The 30-yard line. A little further than about, what is it, 10 to about 30 yards.
Well, now, Teddy Garcia has hit from 52 yards before.
But 49 this year is his best.
Okay. Oilers with still 2 timeouts remaining.
There's pressure and a screen, and it's incomplete. Oh, the defense was suckered by the screen. I mean, the line all came. They came clean, and the screen was there. Did they get to Warren too quickly? He couldn't get it off?
Well, what happens is that you have your offensive line who are supposed to hold a count 1,000. Like here you go 1,001, 1,002. Now in the case of Munchak, he actually gets beat. You can see him on the ground there. He had to get rid of it too soon. Good pressure there by both Eric Hayes and Cortez Kennedy.
The screen not well disguised. And here they come. Look out.
Not at all.
2nd and 10, 40 seconds. 10-10 tie. Incomplete. Gibbons was late looking around, and for maybe the second time this afternoon, Warren was not quite on target.
Warren was in a little bit too much of a hurry there. He had decided before the snap of the ball that he was going to go to Gibbons. You can see right here he's looking right at him, and he throws out of the break. He had plenty of time to throw, but he throws behind, and Gibbons can't come back and get it. Had he let him, he could have not only got the first down, but he would have been out of bounds. I wouldn't be surprised to see him do it again.
And with any other quarterback, I doubt if we'd have said anything about it, but he is always on target.
In that run and shoot, he doesn't have much choice. Their running game today has been non-existent.
The running game has been shot.
You said it, I didn't.
3rd and 10. Moon. Incomplete flag.
I'll be interested in this call because I thought that was pretty good coverage there by Jenkins. That was
McElroy was going for the interception.
That was a deep comeback, and Warren threw the ball before he got out of his break. Charlie, I don't like this call, and I'll tell you why. Take a look at when Haywood Jeffries goes after the ball. He's clearly just going to get the interference. Take a look. Jenkins has good coverage. It's a deep comeback. This requires a lot of time. Jenkins is right with him. He looks back. Now watch him plant. Jenkins is there. Now he goes up for the ball. I don't like that call at all. I don't like that call.
Not reviewable by the instant replay. The ball is at the Seattle 43. I agree with you. I thought the defender had excellent position on him.
Had excellent position. He never grabbed him. It just wasn't a catchable ball. It was great coverage by Jenkins.
43-yard line, Pinkett, and he is stopped. Houston will stop the clock. Warren Moon turns, takes the timeout.
Warren going with the element of surprise there, but obviously the Seahawks weren't surprised at all. We'll get another chance to take a look at this isolation of Melvin Jenkins on Haywood Jeffries. Now what is he doing? He's facing him, but did he push him? Where are the arms? The arms aren't there. Haywood Jeffries, he's not in the way. Haywood Jeffries did a good job of acting there by putting his arms all over Jenkins. Haywood Jeffries was not going for that ball. Also, he was trying to get the flag.
And also, Jeffries very close, having offensive pass interference. Looks as if he had a fistful of jersey.
Melvin Jenkins.
Not a good call.
Yeah, he gets punished for good coverage here. Right there, he's right on him. He doesn't hold him. His arms are off him. Take a look right there. He's up there. He goes after the ball. That's ticky-tack. That shouldn't have been called there.
23 seconds left in regulation. Tied at 10. 44-yard line. 2nd and 11.
You know, Charlie, it's interesting. There's kind of an unwritten rule in pro basketball and pro hockey that unless it's just blatant in the last 2 minutes, that we're just not going to call it. Not so in professional football. You see interference penalties like that happen all the time. And if it is flagrant, I can understand. But there was no interference on that play.
Moon, Gibbons.
What a catch.
Oh, a great catch.
Now they're going to have to hurry because the clock is running with 15 seconds. If Gibbons is hurt, they're going to have to use their last timeout.
They're going to call an injury timeout.
But it's in the last 2 minutes, so that's their last one.
They may go with a field goal attempt here. They've got time to get the field goal team in.
It's going to be a 50-yarder. What a catch. What a catch by Ernest Gibbons. There's certain angles at which your body isn't supposed to be at. Now take a look when he backhands this ball and falls awkwardly on his knee. Look at the backhand. Now watch him land on his knee. Ouch. Right there it flips up. And right when he's on the ground, that right knee, Jefferson hits it. Oh, man.
Yeah.
What acrobatic ability, though, of Givens to bounce out of that. Now, isn't that interesting? He landed on what appeared to be the right knee, and they're looking at the left knee.
And as you said, that is a charged timeout against the Oilers. They have no timeouts remaining. 13 seconds on the clock. Right now, it would be from the 40-yard line, an attempt of 50. That's right on the ragged edge for Teddy Garcia.
To play a little bit, to guess a little bit here, I would say that the Houston Oilers, we take a look here in the last 3 weeks, Seattle has been playing some pretty exciting games. All 3 decided on the last play of the game. 2 of them victorious for the Seahawks.
It was Scansey with a touchdown reception against Kansas City. Fuad Reveiz, the field goal that defeated Seattle, and then Norm Johnson with that 40-yarder in overtime against San Diego.
I wouldn't be surprised here if Warren Moon goes over and talks about going to the out route that he had with Drew Hill. Drew Hill is the inside receiver to the left, and for most of the game he has had rookie Robert Blackman covering him. That would be an ideal situation to get it outside, get him the ball, and he can get out of bounds, because a 50-yard field goal, particularly on the right hash, is not exactly a gimme where field goal kickers are concerned. Most soccer-style kickers want it on the left hash because of the natural hook. Now to throw something else into the mix, which is very interesting, Teddy Garcia this year tried out with
the Seattle Seahawks
and was cut.
And wants revenge. He told you that.
How much better could it get than this, huh?
"13 seconds. No timeouts remaining. 3 receivers left side.
And here's Blackman in man coverage.
Near the 25-yard line.
They're going to have to hurry up. Drew Hill is way downfield. Are they going to get there quick enough for him to throw it out? They're not going to be able to do it.
They ran out of time. Flag is down. But the flag came after time had expired, and the official put it in his pocket.
This is a mistake by Warren Moon, Charlie. He wanted to get to the outside. His receiver wasn't there. The natural inclination for Warren Moon is to throw the ball to the middle of the field to the open receiver, but he should have known with time running down to throw it at the feet of the receiver, make it incomplete, give his field goal team a chance. This is the competitiveness of Warren Moon. He's going outside, but his receiver can't get open. Now, right now, either he should have thrown it at the feet of the receiver, who drops down immediately, or the receiver should have just let it go. He knows he's in a hurry, but he's got on the left side, he's got Bernard Ford, who would run a corner route. Now, for him to run all the way back from the end zone to the line of scrimmage, that's just asking too much. He needed an incomplete pass there.
So first things first, we are into overtime. We will have the toss of the coin. And the situation, as I'm sure almost all of you know, that we will play until there is a score of any kind, or until we come to the end of a quarter. 15 minutes of play. If it's still tied, then it goes in the books as a tie game.
And here's one of the biggest plays of overtime right here, the coin toss. Childress looking at the coin.
He wanted to make sure that it was heads on one side and tails on the other. I've never seen that.
That's great.
Check it out.
Overtime period. Seattle wins the toss.
Seattle wins the toss, and they will receive. We have a tie score, 10-10, overtime. We'll be back right after these messages from your local station. We're back to start overtime. Houston 10, Seattle 10. A program note coming up next, except on the West Coast. Super bloopers and new practical jokes. Then it's the compelling life stories, followed by James Garner and Decoration Day. That's a great, great movie. That's tonight here on NBC. Now, overtime records.
The Oilers are yet to play in overtime this year. The Seahawks are 1-1, losing to the Broncos earlier in the season and winning last week against San Diego.
And so it means for Seattle, this will be the 4th game in a row that the game will be decided by the final play.
I had a thought, Charlie. What do you think about this? On that last play, when the guy does that, if Warren Moon says to his center in the huddle, you get up and just snap me the ball, I don't care if we're offsides. I don't care if everybody's downfield. You know why? Because then they throw the flag.
Stops the clock.
And it's a 5-yard penalty, but they still have the ball.
Good thought. And here is Chris Warren on the return. And he gives ground and is going to over the 13-yard line. Not a good return. A situation where you should just hit straight at the field, get every step that you can, and not try to get fancy.
Great job in coverage there by both Chris Dishman and their special team bomber Eugene Seal. Time is no longer of the essence. So whatever has worked for Seattle earlier in the game, whether it be running the ball, short passes to John L. Williams, they can do right now because time is not a factor.
At least not for a while.
Well, unless they have a 14-minute and 51-yard drive. Okay, you're right. Good point.
Not for a while. John L. Williams off on the right flank, and he is the motion man. And coming back underneath a crossing pattern with Williams is Brian Blades, and he'll struggle for the first down.
You know, Brian Blades is one of the toughest wide receivers. I was talking to one of the coaches, and they say he is an outstanding blocker for a wide receiver. Right here, he slants in, gets the ball in traffic, knows he's going to get hit, but they can't bring him down. Look at his legs churning, trying to get that extra yardage.
And watch their Dishman, Chris Dishman, oh, that's the left side of the screen on the back. The officials took an injury timeout, and he got up very slowly and was waving them off. But if he stays in the game in that situation, it costs a charge timeout, so he comes out for a play, and Steve Brown comes in to replace him. First down at the 25, gain of 12. Blades again. 42-yard line, back-to-back first down. And they were picking on Steve Brown, who came in at that left corner to replace Dishman, a gain of 17.
I'm impressed with John Becker here. This is a play that they've yet to run today. This is about a 15-yard comeback by Blades, and it just so happened that they had Steve Brown playing inside coverage. Nice throw and catch. Craig to Blades.
Had they shown the play before with Williams on the right flank going out and the other receiver coming back underneath him?
That one they'd shown.
Okay.
Blades had not caught a comeback all day. Interesting play selection here.
42-yard line.
Now he's able to audible out. They showed their blitz too soon.
Incomplete. Blades again. They continue to run the crossing pattern at the defensive left corner. What are they seeing that's setting that up?
That's a good question, because I think Dishman has actually done a pretty good job today. I can understand it the last time because of course, Brown isn't. But Brown is fresh. He's cold. He takes advantage of it.
But to pick a side, that is the side they've been picking on throughout the day.
Well, he is right-handed. Maybe that has something to do with it.
Second and 10.
And that is Brian Blades' side.
John L's in motion. Knocked away. Good defensive. But back to Craig. Now, earlier he had a chance for reception, and he deflected it out. He should have done it again.
Yeah, he should have just let that one fall back. But once again, it's like Leonard Harris at the end of the regulation. You know, that's how you're taught. The ball comes to you, you want to catch it. It's not in your nature to bat it down.
Watch William Fuller. 95.
William Fuller gets up. Nice vertical jump here. Times it just right. Bats it right back to him. And look at Craig.
Oh, good hands.
Oh, nuts. That was a bad. Oh, brother. What did I do that for?
Why me?
Yeah.
Back to the 35.
Al Smith on the tackle, and I wonder if he's thinking to himself, hey, do I get a sack for that?
No, he's a receiver. 3rd and 16. We're 2.5 minutes into overtime. Craig rolling left. Fires. Incomplete.
Tough throw and catch. Dave Craig rolling to his left in what they call the dash, or what they call turmoil. That's where you block back and let him roll out to the right, which enables the receivers to run their routes just a little bit deeper. They needed 16 yards. He's there. Tough catch.
Tommy Kane.
Got to come up with that.
Oh.
That was a terrific throw by Craig, going to his left and throwing back to his right to Tommy Kane.
And catchable at this level of play.
Tough catch, but should have made it.
Donnelly to kick. McNeil, the return man.
Donnelly had a big punt last time.
Not a good one. They get a roll, and he does. Taken at the 24, lost of 1 to the 23. Melvin Jenkins was down on the coverage. We're in overtime. 42-yard kick. We'll be back in a moment. We're back at the Kingdom. Houston from their own 23-yard line, first down. Moon over the middle, pass complete and fumbled. Seattle's ball.
What a tough break for Bernard Ford. Hasn't been playing much today. He finally gets his first ball right in the middle of the field, settles down, catches the ball, came up, big hit there. Ball springs loose.
David Wyman with the recovery.
David Wyman has had a terrific game today. The hit was made by Tony Woods downfield, which surprises me. He's a defensive end.
3 turnovers, 2 fumbles, and an interception. At the 27-yard line, first down. Maybe one more play before they go for the field goal attempt.
Well, this is interesting because obviously Houston knows what they're doing here. This would be a terrific time. This would be a terrific time for a bootleg if they could get away with it, because everybody's going to be stuffed in the middle of the field right here. And if you can see right there, Craig off the bootleg could get big yardage to the other side.
A final, Raiders 23, Denver 20.
Means the Raiders and Chiefs are still tied for first in the AFC West. They're spreading them out with 4 wides. They're still going to run.
Now they'll go for it. The reason you want to go for it on third down is if you have a bad snap, a bad hole, you can pick it up, scramble for a couple of yards, and you get another try.
That's exactly right. And that's a very interesting move there by John Becker. He knew he was still going to run the ball, but because he went to 4 wide receivers, that took some of the linebackers out of the middle of the field and enabled them to get some extra yardage. Now it's a 42-yarder right down the middle of the field.
Overtime last week, San Diego, a 40-yarder. He hit it for the win.
He's at home now. He's got to feel pretty comfortable.
The crowd in the end zone says it all. The key is the snap. It was by Grant Fiesel, who is injured.
Help. Nice hold by Kemp. A little bit low. He nails it through. The happiest man on the field right there. Chuck Knox. Check him out. Never a doubt. Pretty animated today, wasn't he? Nice stride. Does Johnson know right from the kick? You bet he does.
And a man who suffered through all kinds of problems, Norm Johnson now has won the last 2 in a row. And he has been selected as the McDonald's MVP. NBC will donate $5,000 on behalf of all the players selected throughout today's game to Ronald McDonald's Children's Charities to give kids a better tomorrow. The final score, Seattle 13, Houston 10. So long, everybody.